they knew that they had to get 15 widgets completed in a week, but they didn't know what technology was involved in getting that done. And there was always a little bit of miscommunication between the providers and my clients. So when I came in, I've had a pretty good background in business, and I was able to help them, ask their providers or ask their other whatever the solution provider was at the time, in getting these things done.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Brava Talks. I'm joined today by two of the sharpest technical minds around. I have with me Mr. Amilkar Torres, the Chief Operations Officer at Brava, and I have Kai Hendricks, Senior IP Network Engineer at Viya. Gents, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Kai, so right now you assume the role of Senior IP Network Engineer, but I understand you've done some consultancy in your past as well. Can you tell me a little bit about that history?
Sure. So a little bit of history about myself. I actually started with Viya when it was MCOM back in 1998. And I left there in 2000 to take a job in New York, managing a wide area network over there. Shortly after the events that happened in 2001, I decided to come back down and give some technical assistance to the people at Virgin Islands running a consulting company named Viya Data Consulting. I focused most of my clients were either in the government or provided services for the government, and I had a few EDC companies as well, Economic Development Authority clients. And what I found over the years were that, that there was a need for local high technology expertise in the islands.
So I think it would be fair to say you have your finger on the pulse of business here. During those experiences, what did you find from a consultancy perspective and from an ISP perspective? What did those businesses need from their providers?
They knew that they had to get 15 widgets completed in a week, but they didn't know what technology was involved in getting that done. And there was always a little bit of miscommunication between the providers and my clients. So when I came in, I've had a pretty good background in business, and I was able to help them, ask their providers or ask their other whatever the solution provider was at the time, in getting these things done. Whether it's providing network diagrams, just speaking the lingo, translating to the technical teams what the business needs were, so they could put together a customized package for my customer.
Excellent. And what you speak to there sounds a lot like service and customer experience initiatives. It echoes shades of that, right?
Yeah.
And Amilkar, I'm curious to know, from the Brava side, I know that you have been instrumental in crafting some of those experiences. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that's been like for you?
We at Brava are investing heavily in making sure that we provide a superior customer experience, whether it's to our agents, whether it's to our staff on the ground. Your experience as a customer of Brava will always be superior, not just with the products that we bring to the products and solutions that we're bringing to the market, but above all, your interactions and your customer experience with us.
Okay, I'm curious now. What challenges would you have seen operating in a consultancy role? What challenges would you have seen for the smaller businesses that weren't necessarily able to afford IT staff full-time?
It's usually, how do we get the right fit, the right product in the hands of the customer, with regard to the limited technical resources that they have. right? So sometimes it involves talking to the executive teams or, whatever leadership team is in place and finding out exactly what the business need is, talking with the technical resource to see what they have on hand and what their level of expertise is, and then bridging that gap is usually what my response has been. Just bridging that gap, saying, okay, what you have, you may be okay, but this is probably a better approach.
Right, and then so Amilkar, that begs the question: what are Brava's plans to address the shortage of technical expertise in AVI?
We do have the engineering experts on the ground, but we also have a regional presence where we can offer customers in the Virgin Islands or in any of the territories that we operate that expertise, where we can not only deploy the solution satisfactory for you, but we can run those solutions on your behalf so that you as a business can focus on what you do best, running your business.
Excellent. Gents, it's not often I get to have a technical conversation that I can keep pace with. So I would like to say thank you for taking your time out to sit with us, but also thank you for making this simple enough to understand. And thank you, our viewers, for joining us.